Hello, hi again. Right, coronavirus relief and potentially a cure, and also the psychoactive ban lifted. What? In the same thing? Similar. It's two different points. Firstly, you might be thinking, why am I dressed like this? Well, no, I'm not going to be building something or working on like a boiler or something, but we are talking about gas, right? Not natural gas, but different types of gas and tanks and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not building an engine, but we're talking about a different type of tanks, right? Gas tanks, stuff like this. So what do we start with? I guess, well, firstly, I'll say that my birthday's coming up, so I thought I'd share a little gift with you of my own and actually give to you a little present. It's a bit of like not secret knowledge, but I think kind of little known knowledge. And it's actually in the form of balloons. Funny enough, so a little balloon party. Right. I hope this doesn't just cut out. And if that did, then balloons. Right. Balloons. Believe in balloons. Now, in the olden days, you might have seen a balloon on a little stick, and you're thinking, "What's that about?" Why weren't they different balloons? Well, maybe it's because there was actually in the world of truth and stuff, those balloons were actually impractical. They would have been filled with party gas, which you could breathe and inhale and enjoy, right? So, and turns out those gases, right, are actually quite good for the lungs and stuff, and they use them when people have lung damage and stuff. So, during the corona, if people were having difficulty breathing and stuff, there's potentially gases and stuff, medical gases, which we can mix and stuff, which could potentially help you to breathe and stuff. So primarily oxygen is good to take into the body, which is the one we use. But breathing just pure oxygen over long periods of time is actually can be quite damaging for the body. One, probably because it gets used to it, and two, because it can actually cause damage. I think if we just breathe too much oxygen, because oxygen is obviously kind of it's the only it's the pure thing, the sole reason why things burn, which I didn't know until quite recently. Things burning is solely because of it's an oxygen chemical reaction. Yeah. So if you take that out of the equation, things don't usually burn. They won't burn unless they're doing fusion or whatever. That's the point. So, oxygen is good for breathing things. Okay, so you can actually mix that with other gases to take in more gas over long periods of time. So, if you were already aware that people actually breathe and huff nitrous oxide, they don't huff it, but they breathe nitrous oxide to get a effect. Now, if you were to mix that nitrous oxide, because apparently nitrous oxide, I always thought when you breathe it in, your body converts it into nitrogen and oxygen, and you get the effect, and you breathe it back out. But you can actually keep recycling that nitrous oxide, and it just stays nitrous oxide because it's inert forever. Okay, but obviously you start to starve your brain of oxygen after a while. But if you were to mix that nitrous oxide with oxygen, you could recycle that nitrous oxide and oxygen for a lot longer period of time and potentially get a lot better effects, which would technically still be psychoactive. But you can mix oxygen with other gases to get other medical gases. One of them, funnily enough, is helium. So maybe that's where helium balloons come from. That helium balloon pies is actually people potentially mixing helium and oxygen to get a nice, relaxing mix of gas. I don't know what it's called. Probably heligen or something. Who knows? Now, another one they mix different gases which they use in respiratory relief. Okay, so I don't know, maybe I don't know, hydrogen, oxygen, maybe I'm not too sure, but they usually use an inert gas and oxygen. Right now, one of these inert gases, which they don't use for uh, lung relief, but they do use for psychological preparation for other drugs, right? And that would be carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide, was it carbon dioxide, and oxygen. They combine those two things together to create um, a drug which prepares you for. They would use it for psychological trials. So they would give you like LSD and stuff to actually heal you from like abuse, psychological abuse experiences. They'd give you psychedelics and actually like help you through the process. And before they do that, they'd give you this stuff which is called carbogen. Now carbogen is just a mixture, a certain ratio, anywhere between 5 to 30% of carbon dioxide and oxygen. You'd breathe that, and it's quite hard to breathe, I've heard. It's quite a thick gas. It's quite like it's even got a taste, right? Now you breathe the stuff, and it actually gives you an experience. Now, if you notice, the air is full of carbon dioxide and oxygen, both of these things, which apparently are psychoactive, along with loads of other things, sugar, beer, caffeine. All of these things are psychoactive drugs, and they're all very much legal. So technically, everyone who has been during the psychoactive ban, we've all been breaking the law just by breathing the air itself. Okay, so technically, they're gonna have to readdress that. So technically, for at the moment, the psychoactive ban is void, invalid, and completely untrue, because realistically it's more about the dosage of the way we take these drugs. Maybe so, in certain in excess, if you're not abusing these things, they're not illegal, for one, and two, they're not really doing anyone any harm either, so they're not really, you're not it's no never mind to anybody. So that's potentially, we can look into that, people, and potentially free a lot of people, and go speak to a lawyer and see if you can get your previous thing stricken off the record, because it's not legally sound. Right, so that's that one good thing. Hopefully I've done everyone in favors and legalized some things there, and we'll be able to um, research more into the properties and the health benefits of these gases. And if you notice, these gases are actually quite cheap at the moment because of the medical relief benefits of that. So if you do want to get medical relieved, I would advise looking into that, and maybe holding little parties of your own and having balloons and sort of tents and stuff. If you want to have like a bouncy castle and fill it full of uh, gases and stuff, be careful, because you want to blow things up. So you want to keep your mixtures safe, and you want to be aware of all these sorts of properties. And you probably might need a license and stuff. So go to the government and get a license, and you could do some real good benefit people, and go celebrate my birthday because I love you. Okay, and also another thing, another little device of my own invention, which I will leave for you, is something I'm going to be speaking to a doctor to see if it would be safe and approved to give people. But I think I've got another way of actually actively fighting the virus, which uses natural products to do this. And it would be silver was one of the ingredients. Now, we talked about silver before, but people are a bit skeptical about silver because it can give you angina, which is where you get silver build up in the body, and you can actually turn it blue and stuff, which is not what we want. But potentially on the delivery, silver can actually be very healing because it's anti-cancerous, it's not anti-biological, but it's like fungal, it's antibacterial, and it can actually kill viruses and bacteria and all this sorts of thing. So that would be interesting. So that would be one of the ingredients: microparticles of silver suspended in water, and also not vanilla, lavender oil, because lavender is a very healing compound. It's very good for fighting things off as well. So it's great for healing burns and stuff. So if you've got burn, people, put some lavender oil, and it will heal that burn a lot quicker. Or if you've got an infected wound, you can put lavender on it. It can really help fight that infection. So I'm thinking, because lavender is an oil as well, it's non-soluble in water. So I'm thinking of getting a bit of lavender, getting a bit of base. I'm thinking what's it, the one, bicarbonate of soda, putting some bicarbonate of soda, turn a basifier, mixing with water and a bit of silver, colloidal silver, sorry, and it should hopefully make a water suspension. Take that as an nasal spray or an inhaler, and hopefully, if there's any damage to the lungs, and this could potentially be quite healing for anything else as well, we'll hopefully be able to breathe that in. I'm going to check with the doctor to see if that's sound, and I'll probably put it in the description. So we'll check in the future to see if that's all right. If not, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Maybe still use lavender for other things, but maybe don't breathe it in. But otherwise, it's something I will be looking into, and hopefully I will be able to sell for a non-profit. So that will be negligible cost. That I'm talking like a penny for a bottle, and that will last you for a very serious amount of time. So yeah, hopefully we can do that. Hopefully we can all heal and actually get to know each other a bit better, and we can go on, carry on having these brilliant parties with balloons and this sort of thing. So yes, soon, I'll be like doing all this sort of good stuff. And yeah, all right, nice one. See you later. I'll tell you how my birthday goes in future episodes. Take care, guys. Thanks.